Let me hold your hand when I say this. We do not move to America because we think it's a better country. We move here because it's a little less worse than our other countries. Because you're stupid to think that we moved to this country for some hot dogs and some baseball. We have better vibes, music, food, culture, history, literally all of the above. We just move here because we are looking to make more money and offer a better chance for our families. Did you know that the minimum wage a day, not an hour, a day in Mexico is not even 15 American dollars? If you support ICE, you support people getting destroyed. If you support families getting destroyed, I hope you rot in hell. And I will see you.
I mean, let's just say if hell was, a place where you go for contradicting yourself, I think she'll be there by tomorrow. One of the more interesting things I would say, the more fascinating things is like how you sometimes, in order for somebody to just expose themselves and like contradict themselves and just understand that they themselves deep down they know that what they're saying is complete bullshit and they're contradicting themselves and they have no value in which they stand, it's just to let them speak. It's crazy how you could just allow somebody to speak. Just put them in front of a camera. Put them in front of a camera and they will absolutely just obliterate their own ideology. I mean, this woman, right? This woman just came on this screen right now. I don't even know what to say. And she says, "We don't come here because America's a better place." However, she proceeds to describe a plethora of things in which America is better than in 99% of the world. Crazy. Incredible. And let me just go ahead and add on to what she was saying. There's a reason why people come here. There's a reason why people literally risk their lives paying the cartels thousands of dollars just at a sliver of a chance to come into America and survive and make more money and have a better life. Because we're one of the greatest superpowers in the world. We are the greatest superpower in the world right now. That's what it is. Everybody wants to come to America. Trust me, I know it because I used to live in a country, Jamaica. A lot of people are trying to come here. It's a privilege to live here. And a lot of people don't understand how privileged they are to live in this country. But yeah, it's very, very fascinating, how she says America's not better, but then she proceeds to, describe a plethora of things that in which, America excels in comparison to its counterparts. But yeah, it's crazy how when you put somebody in front of a camera, no holds barred, they can say whatever the hell they want. They always end up contradicting themselves and telling on themselves, and their ideologies hold no value. It's actually laughable how unnecessary this was. Like, insane how unnecessary this was.
Butler makes his move. Fend off, and he puts it in. +1. Jimmy Butler with a chance for 3.
Now, listen, I'm a sports guy myself, right? I have a soccer shirt on right now. Listen, I'm very competitive, right? Whenever I make a big tackle or I score a goal, like, I talk shit, right? Like, I'm on your ass, right? Pause. And listen, I personally have no problem with what Jimmy Butler said, right? You know what I'm saying? The emotions in the game, especially in the NBA, they run pretty high. And listen, I'm a huge believer in the First Amendment. You should be able to say whatever you want. I don't care if it's a white person using a racial slur or it's a black person using a racial slur, whatever. Whoever can say whatever the hell they want, right? I personally believe that you letting something affect you because it's a word or a slur, I mean, that's how you give the word power or the situation power. The only reason why I'm making a video about this is because I just want you to see the hypocrisy firsthand. I mean, if I think that guy's name is Wolf, right? He plays for the Brooklyn Nets, number 2. If he had said black boy, black boy, black boy, maybe he dunked on Jimmy Butler. Maybe he got an N1 or a similar play to what Jimmy Butler just had right now, right? Black boy, every single time, black boy. You know that man is getting annexed from the NBA. He has no chance of playing professional basketball, at least in the United States, ever again. He would have never ever signed another contract. He would have been just sent into the shadow realm and just been shadow banned or banned from the NBA for life. And this is what I mean when I say the hypocrisy and just the contradictions that are practiced whenever it comes to race and black people in America. Because Jimmy Butler for sure would not have liked for somebody to do that to them, right? The Bible says, treat others, right? Do unto others as you would like them to do unto you, right? And I promise you, If that was the other way around, I mean, this was so unnecessary. Like, this was so unnecessary. Like, you got the bucket and won. All right, talk your shit, but like, this is crazy. The fact that and there's something, another thing I want to touch on as well. The fact that that was the first thing that came to his mind when he got that bucket just shows you how many people still have the victim mindset and always have to use a race card to show and basically just acknowledge, because basically what you're doing is acknowledging that you're inferior to the white race, which is crazy because everybody, right, skin color doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's just crazy, the hypocrisy and how the black community, again, like I say, black people in America practice the same racism that they complain about. And it's absolutely insane. And this is a perfect example coming from someone who should be setting a better example, right? And people look up to this guy.
I didn't want to like debate or anything like that, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Like a few months ago, Charlie Kirk got shot, and I just don't want the same thing to happen to you. Are you scared that the same thing might happen to you, like coming on here at this campus?
No, I'm not nervous. I understand that obviously there's risks, and I think there's a tragedy that Charlie got shot. Curious what you're getting at there, though.
Yeah, we all mourn the loss of Charlie Kirk, and it's a terrible tragedy. I just really.
Well, you don't sound sincere, so.
No. I really just care about you, and I really I hope that you don't get shot from this.
What are you?
I just wanted to.
What are you getting at there?
I just don't want you to get shot. That's just
Okay.
I mean, as usual, they never ever want to speak, right? They never actually want to have an argument. They never ever want to have a discussion. They never ever want to. All they're doing every single time, they just come up, either it's an act of violence or it's something like this, passive aggressiveness, which is, a passive threat saying, oh, Charlie Kirk died doing what you're doing currently right now. You could be next. She doesn't say it verbatim, but she's hinting it. She's implying it, right? It's an implication, right? Might be you next, right? Passive aggressive threat. But let's just go by her logic, right? This guy is clearly doing something that Charlie Kirk was similar to what Charlie Kirk was doing, going on college campuses, putting up signs saying, "Prove me wrong." I didn't really see what his sign said, but I'm pretty sure it's something along the lines in that area. He was, trying to, get his idea across to college students on campus. So let's go ahead and use her analogy, right? I'm a sports person. As you can see, I'm a soccer guy. So, like, it's very, very dangerous to play soccer, right? You can break your leg. You can snap your leg in half. You can faint on the pitch and die. You can literally have a heart attack on the pitch and die. You can get hit in the head and die. So should we all just stop playing soccer? Should we just all never play sports again? Should all those basketball players who have dreams of going to the NBA just stop playing because, they might tear their ACL or they might twist their ankle or they might, I don't know, have a hard fall, right? Should all those boxers stop boxing because, they might get a multiple concussions, right? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And, for shits and gigs, let's go ahead and use a patriotic analogy, a patriotic, example. Should all those U.S. soldiers who, maybe want to take advantage of the GI Bill and the benefits that gives them and, maybe to start a career or be a better person or be a better American, right? Because it could be the case that you die in training. It could be the case that you get deployed and you die overseas. But should all those people, because they might die, not take advantage of those benefits? Makes no sense what she's saying. Literally.
Week before the puppy is born, they're literally ripping apart the puppy in the mother's womb, limb by limb, suctioning out the brain of the puppy. That they should protect all puppies, even starting in the womb. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're actually doing the same exact thing to human beings. Actually, what they're doing is, this was the abortion center in D.C. That was a Harriet right there. She was actually 30 weeks old. So just like with puppies, they're actually taking human beings. They're ripping them apart in the womb. So there's just a petition to sign for saving babies as well.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. Thank you.
You're okay with, you mean you're not signing it for the babies?
just puppies.
Just the puppies today. Thank you.
Are babies less important than puppies?
The puppies are cute.
Bro really said the puppies are cuter. Nah, we are cooked. I mean, first of all, that's cap, right? Babies are cuter than puppies, right? That's just my personal opinion. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because, like, puppies, like, I don't have a pet, so I don't know what it's like to, But anyways, that's cap. But just think about the way how society is now. Like we're no what they're basically saying and basically confirming is that we have people in society now that genuinely think that puppies are more important to society than babies. And listen, I'm not trying to diminish puppies' values, right? The dogs are great, right? Even though I don't have one myself, they're good. They're good pets from what I can see, right? They're a man's best friend. But when it comes to saving a life like a baby, like that's crazy. Like, did y'all see how her face changed when they switched over from okay, we're signing the puppy petition? Like she was like happy to do that, and then when you switched over to the guy, to the baby, who the woman was 30 weeks pregnant, apparently, right? I mean, obviously this is a skit to see how people would. I'm assuming this is a skit to see how people would react, but that's still crazy, bro. Like this is the point where we are in society now, where people genuinely think that puppies are more important than babies. She said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." And then the guy ends the video with the puppies are cuter. Yeah, bro, we are damn, bro. Like, damn, that's tough.
Illegal immigrants or protect homeless veterans?
Probably protect illegal immigrants.
Why?
Because homeless veterans don't really do anything. They're not really helping us with anything. They're homeless for a reason. The immigrants are doing more for us right now. That's why they're not homeless.
In what way do the immigrants do more for the world country?
I don't know. Just more than the homeless.
You know, I gotta say, bro, it's really scary, you know, that we have come to a point where, you know, people of the citizens of this country think that, you know, importing people into our country and protecting those people who are here illegally, right? These people who are here illegally, they're not supposed to be here, right? They crossed the border illegally, or they came here, overstayed their visa, and it's very, very illegal to do that. We should protect those people and give them health benefits. We should give them every single benefit that taxpayers pay into the system. Every single benefit of the regular taxpayer, the regular American citizen who actually has their papers and actually has been born. It was born here. They pay taxes. We should give them the same benefits as people who literally went out there and died for this country, right? Right? We should give them the same rights. We should give them the same benefits. We should give them the same everything. What you're seeing in that video right there is, you know, the epitome of the saying that privilege is invisible to those who have it. Because she has no idea how privileged she is to be able to walk around freely, right? She's able to give interviews like that and say that we should protect veterans. We should protect illegal immigrants instead of war veterans. She doesn't know how much of a privilege that is, right? She looks like a college-aged girl, right? She probably goes to school. She doesn't understand how privileged she is to be an American. But yeah, we have genuinely reached a place in society because I promise you, there's a lot of people who think like her. Might not be the majority, but there's a staggering amount of people who think like her, and that's a major problem. Because imagine, you know, you as a war veteran hearing that. You are someone who went to go die for this country. You went to Iraq, right? You went to all these missions and secret missions that the government sends you on, right? It's a compulsory mission. You have to do it because that's what the commander says, right? That's what the president and the executive chief and the commander in chief says. You got to go do this mission, even though you might not want to do it. And then you come home from war, and then you hear somebody say, "Yeah, we should protect illegal immigrants, people who have broken the law to stay here. We should protect them instead of homeless veterans." Wow, incredible.
You're gonna understand that it's all the same thing. They're trying to exterminate fat people. They want to get rid of us. It's all white supremacy. Fat phobia is racism. They're so excited that they found a drug that makes it so we don't exist anymore. If tomorrow they released a drug that said we cured blackness, if you just take this pill, you can be white. It's all the same.
I'm gonna lie, it's one thing to hear a black person complain about white supremacy in America, but it's like a whole different story when you hear a white person say the words white supremacy, and that we're all under this white supremacist leadership. Like it's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a woman who is clearly, you know, for lack of a better term, right? I'm just gonna say she's overweight. Clearly, you can see that she's overweight, but she's comparing that to racism. And while I'm not, you know, y'all already know how I am, right? I don't really think, you know, I don't really see color, right? I think people who use racism as an excuse, they're losers, right? But like to compare like fat phobia to racism, it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The victim mentality on this one is crazy, crazy, crazy. Imagine people holding you. I mean, you can't control the color of your skin, right? You can't control the color of your skin, but what you can control is every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth. I mean, we can all control that, right? And I know people are going to argue for the 1% of people who are, people who are they're physically challenged, or their health, they have health conditions. That's the 1%, right? With the rest of the 99%, there's no excuse. Like, you literally have 100%, unless you are a child, right? Because obviously when I was growing up, there's no debate, right? You're eating what is there on the table. But the fact that once you pass 18, you can choose whatever the hell goes into your mouth and eat. People would even argue earlier than that. So, you can control every single morsel of food. So the fact that she's, saying that they created a drug to get rid of all fat people or overweight people is just insane. How about how about they just want people to be healthier, right? How about they just want people to live a longer life, right? Because obesity is quickly becoming the number one cause of death in America, right? Americans are the fattest people in the world. So maybe they're trying to help people out. Maybe you should look at it that way.